Hello, everybody. Today I'm here to do the second event in the magic user kind of um, long going event that's going on through the month of March. We already had Ian and his event just a little bit ago, and it ended pretty quickly, and now we have Genie's event. So this is kind of just like an excuse for us to get to try out Genie. And we'll bring him in through the first couple of early stages, and then when it gets too tough, we'll take him out. And we're going to showcase Ian as well a little bit. So if you're hoping to see Ian again, or if you're curious how Genie works now in this new version of the game, then that's what we're going to be doing today. And then of course, obviously going through the new event levels, getting some more stuff for the store here. And I have enough to purchase a crystal. I'm curious what I'm going to get for it, so I'm going to open this up, and here it is. That's a pretty cool picture. Let's open the Mystic Crystal up, and we get Ian. Okay, so he gets to be level 2 now, which is great, and that'll just be even great, or even better for us showcasing him now because he's level 2. And we get a couple things here, I'm guessing just for opening that crystal. Oh my. Do we already have enough for like another thing entirely? Almost. I'll buy another one after this, and hopefully we'll get Genie or something. Okay, let's go into it. The events aren't that interesting. I did wait a couple days to start this one, and then obviously I don't know when I'm going to upload it, but probably this Monday. I don't know. I guess you know when you're seeing it. But yeah, there's no special dialogue or anything. Really, the point of the event is to just get the characters that are featured in it. So we're taking out Baymax because we want to put in. Actually, hold on a second. I want to bring in a tank, right? Yeah. So complete with a tank. That's the goal. Genie's my weakest character. But that's just because he's 1 star. If I was able to get him up past that. I think he's even like rank 2. Some of my characters aren't even at that 2nd rank yet. I really did my best to level up Ian and Genie before starting this. So let's switch over to Genie. And his gimmick is sort of like he doesn't actually use his hands to punch. He's got like these floaty hands that he's controlling. I really like his design, and he's very expressive. Look at him like running across there. I do not remember him running like that. That might be different. And he kind of can dash a little bit. And you can see like his punches here. And here is his big move. The orbs circle around him, and then it kind of explodes. I think it hits everybody on screen, or maybe just everyone in the general area around him. And we're also fighting Genie as well. So let's go up. We can also use Ian's skill, which will heal us. That's weird. Why did Genie's animation play and his not? Well, anyways. And then when we hold Genie's fist. Alright, so both his hands go out. And, oh, he's stunned. So he can, oh, he has a, wait. Hold on. What? He's stuck. I can't get him to move. There we go. See how when he charges, he like punches down, which is cool. And it should be dead any second here. Or stunned again. That should kill him, right? Yeah. And then we just go kill this last guy. Genie feels pretty nice to play as. I guess it's one thing you guys don't really get to experience, is what it feels to play. Unless some of you actually have the game already, but a lot of you don't. He does feel nice to play. And I would say just in general, the tanks are the most kind of satisfying to play as, because they're throwing these punches. In the same way, kind of melee characters as well. The range characters don't really feel like you're doing all that much. You're kind of just tapping the button. when you're actually like tapping the button here and punching, it feels like there's like weight to it. So yeah, his charge animation is, or I guess not even just animation, but the move in general is kind of cool. He like punches down onto them. I'll do it again here in a second. And bam, and bam, and then let's do this. There's the animation when it's not in its special form. That is curious. Do they automatically do that special animation for it on your first time using them? Because I don't have the animations actually on. I would actually kind of like to see that animation again with a special skill, so we might turn it on here for a second just to see it again. If the pause, there. Alright. So let's get a skill again and use it. Oh. And there's Merida's, in case you've forgotten. Genie might die. So here's the animation. Very expressive, like I said. And his design, it kind of looks like he's got like space inside him, or like the whole galaxy in him. He looks really cool. They did change his look a little bit, and it was in the previous version, but like at the beginning of the previous version, he had a look, and then towards the end of that, it changed. And now they've kind of maintained that look a little bit. So, in case you're wondering or thinking he looks different, he does look a little different. And I think it was a much needed change. Oh, I didn't even hit anybody with that. So I think his special skill actually like stuns them. I know the enemy Genie has a moment where he's invincible. I'm curious if my Genie has that at all, or maybe one of the talents that you can equip has that. I don't know. Oh, and look at, did you see the animation there? He fist bumped his hand and now they're pointing at each other. That's really nice. The animations in this game are always pretty fun to watch. So we've completed this, just a daily quest. And we'll probably go through like 7 or 8 of the levels, I guess. I don't have any intention on beating them all. They can be really tough to beat, and I would probably only get like 1 star on them if I actually did beat them. But if you watched my events, we did the Scrooge McDuck event, and I attempted to go all the way through, and it just was not gonna happen. Merida was making it through by herself, just barely. So I didn't even get like the 3-star rewards or anything. It was not worth it. And you don't get all that much for completing an event. Sometimes you get like a free character. I don't really need it, so after the showcase here with Genie, all we have left to do is get Minnie Mouse, and then obviously Ariel, Maui, and Ursula will be coming in the next update, I would assume. There may be a new character in there instead of one of them. I would say it's pretty likely we just get those 3, and then after that we start getting new characters again. Which will just be like, finally, you know? Like, it's been such a long time since we got a new character in this game. One of the most fun parts in this game is just seeing how these characters have changed in the new Mirrorverse art style. You know, what is unique about them now? So I'm looking forward to that. See, Genie's indestructible right now. I'm curious if there's a talent that I could get that could make my Genie indestructible, because I would love to get that. I think you can still like stun them and do like sass effects. I don't think he can be damaged normally. Alright, we made it through that one. I think Merida's probably doing the majority of the damage, but Genie's actually doing a pretty good amount. If you saw my showcase of Ian, he was not doing very much damage. I was kind of holding back the team a little bit. Let's do one more with Genie and Ian, and maybe we play as Ian this time instead of Genie. And see, I have leveled him up a lot more, so maybe it'll be a little bit of a different experience. I'm sure he heals more. I've got some talents equipped on him. So you can see some of the differences there. And I know a lot of you really like Ian. So hopefully you enjoy seeing him get showcased again. And we showed off his unique animations before already. We just kind of want to see. He's definitely a lot stronger. Before he's doing like 1 damage per hit, which was pretty bad. We're doing a pretty good amount of damage now. Oh, I just saw Genie got indestructible, so it is possible to get that. I don't remember even noticing that before. But the way the enemy Genie works is that when you get it, it's at 75% of health and 25% of health. I think, actually, I have a talent equipped that does it, and it's at 75%. I think you get to choose. Or you can equip both, I guess. It was called like Wish number 1 and Wish number 2. And I think I chose Wish number 1, which has you become indestructible at 75% health. And I think Wish 1 or Wish 2 is at 25%. So technically you could equip both of them, and then you'd be indestructible at both those times. It might not even be the indestructible that I'm thinking of, but there's definitely a talent that's called Wish 1 and one called Wish 2, and something happens at 75% and 25% of health. I remember that for sure. I forgot about it for a moment, but now I do remember that. So I guess it's kind of how they do it with the enemy characters, that he has those 2 talents equipped already. So Genie may die. I switched over to him real quick. That may be a bad idea. Oh, he's gonna die here. Come on. Oh, he died. That's too bad. We should still be able to beat this. Can we get out of the way real quick? Get out of the way. There we go. And he is just about dead. And then we just have this last archer over here. So as we go through, some of these levels in the events are going to get easier because I'm going to continue to level up my characters. Every day I go in and level them up in some form. So I'm always making progress. You can see I'm level 25, which I think is pretty stark contrast to some of the previous videos. Let's bring in just my best team here. We need a tank, and we got one. We're just leaving Genie and Ian out because it's going to go a lot faster if we do so. And we showcase them for 4 levels. I guess I can talk about my overall thoughts on them. Like I said, Genie's pretty satisfying to play as. I like the idea of him using those hands to attack. That indestructible move can be very beneficial, especially right now when he's so weak. He has such little health. And Ian is a pretty good healer. He has a healing move similar to Belle's, which is my favorite in the game. So just by that alone, I do enjoy using him. If I were to get him more leveled up, I'd probably want to use him a lot more. But for now, he's just not at the level we need him to be to put him on the team. So I would love to put him on the team, but for now, he probably won't be. And like I said, we just have Minnie left. I hope there's some way to get her other than the current way they have, because it may take me a very long time to actually unlock her through that way. But if they do, well, I guess Goofy never moved over to the other crystals, but the other 2 did. Scrooge and who's the other one? Scrooge and Judy moved over to the regular crystals, which is amazing. Something that I had been complaining about, that they, they did what I would say is the right thing with it, giving people a much easier way to actually get those characters or level up those characters. And I hope they do the same with other characters. But the thing is, Genie is a store exclusive like Minnie. Not Genie. Goofy is a store exclusive like Minnie. And Goofy was not added to the crystals. So with that logic, it may be the same, where Minnie won't be added. Or maybe they're just waiting a little bit longer before they do so. But I could definitely see them just only being store exclusives. So if that is the case, then it's probably going to take me a long time to actually get them. But hopefully, eventually, I'll be able to get her. I already had her in the previous version of the game. So if you're really curious about seeing Minnie in any form, in the Mirrorverse style, you can go back and check out my unlocking video on her through like the Disney Mirrorverse playlist. I don't think I've ever shouted out my playlists, but I actually put quite a lot of work into my playlists. Let's go back and buy one of those crystals again. I legitimately, like, almost every single video on my channel is in some playlist. If the video is from a specific series that I've made multiple videos on, it's almost definitely in a playlist. Some like unlocking characters, I have specific playlists for, like Disney Heroes, Disney Sources Arena, and Dr. Mario World. I have like those character showcase playlists. But yeah, like if you want to see all the previous Mirrorverse stuff, there's a playlist with all the Mirrorverse videos I did, including this version of the game and the previous version of the game before they kind of rebooted it. So go and check that out if you're interested. Yeah, and it's a great way to see Maui, Ursula, and Ariel before they're actually added into this version of the game. I actually just got a comment on that video not that long ago that was like, these three characters are not in my game. And there was just someone discovering this video with these characters that now they know are coming, you know. It was kind of like, whoa, how did this guy get these characters? I don't have them in my game, just because he didn't have that previous version of the game. So if you're curious on seeing those characters and you haven't seen those videos already, I would definitely recommend going and checking it out. I did actually unlock Maui, and we played through the event, which had some exclusive dialogue. You know, there was a story to the events back then. So I would say that's pretty interesting. I really like my Mirrorverse videos. There's some of the ones I get the most expressive on, I would say, because I don't really get mad at games all too much, but this game gives a lot to get mad about, I would say. So if you're interested in something like that as well, you know, the Mirrorverse videos are great. And they're really just me sitting down and talking for a while, you know. I don't only talk about Mirrorverse. It'd be pretty hard to talk. They're like 40-minute videos sometimes. It's like I can't just sit here and talk about Mirrorverse all day. And even like right now in this event, it seems like every single round is exactly the same, except it gets a little bit tougher. Like the first round has a couple of enemies, the second round has Scar and a couple enemies, and then this one has Judy Hopps and Genie, and then some other enemies. And it seems like it's the same every single time. So it's not that exciting to watch. So hopefully my commentary helps a little bit with that. Maybe you didn't even notice that it's the same every time until just now, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I'm going to talk about right now. Like I said, sometimes with these videos I really just need to think of a topic and then just sit here and talk about it. And that's the topic I want to talk about, is the events in this game. They're a great way to just get characters very easily, which I'd say is the only improvement from the events in the previous version of the game, because the events before, I spent so much time just trying to unlock one character. I just got Maui by spending hours playing through that event. And then the game restarted and I lost Maui, so that really sucks. But that's what happened. I spent a lot of time working on that event and I unlocked Maui. To be fair, I think he was at a much higher level. Or like he was a lot stronger than he is now. Oh shoot. Jack Sparrow died. Okay. Well anyways. I think unlocking characters is, I think, a lot different in that game than it is in this game. And that's pretty apparent. Yeah, especially through like the events now. Because you can play through like just a couple levels in these events and you're gonna get either Genie or Ian. You do not need to make it far to get that currency and start unlocking some characters, which is really nice. You know, even though they're weak, it's just nice to have an easy way to unlock characters, especially for like me making videos on this game. It's like I just want to unlock the characters, and to make it so easy that you just play through the event for a little bit and you're guaranteed to get Genie and Ian, that's great. The previous version of the game did not do that. It was pretty hard to unlock the characters that were in the event, and sometimes actually impossible other than paying money for the game, which I'm very happy they have changed. But yeah, those levels were really tough. You really had to have your characters really leveled up, and the gameplay was just so much different from this. This is a lot more laid back, and it really is just like, if your character is good enough, you're going to win. And that version of the game, if your characters are really strong, then of course, but the levels were really hard, and I feel like there's a lot more strategy to those levels in a way. Even though you weren't really controlling the battle like you are here. And also, oh my god, look at the frame rate. Hopefully it doesn't crash. If it crashes, I'm just going to quit. I'm not even going to say goodbye. I could definitely see it crashing. But the problem with the events now, you know, like I said, the characters are easier to get. That's nice. But the bad thing is, before there was a lot more personality with the events. There's much more of a reason to play the events, and even though it was a lot harder to get the characters, like, it made you much more dedicated. Like, I did so much to unlock Maui. I was into that event. I played a lot of the game just to get Maui. And this game, it's like there's no story involved at all. There's no plot. Each level is exactly the same, except the characters are harder. And that is like so tedious. It is so pointless. Like, when these events come back around, I'm not going to play them. I'm just not. I have the characters now. I know what the levels are. There's no story. There's no nothing. You just play the event, get some currency, and you move on. And it's too tedious to even want to do it over and over again. You can't even, like, auto-win the battles you've already won. The event restarts every time it comes back. Like, that's crazy. Disney Sources Arena does it great, other than the towers, I would say, which does get very tedious. But Disney Sources Arena keeps your progress. When the event comes back, you are at the same point you were before. Again, besides the towers, which does also get very tedious. I'm getting pretty sick of the towers, if I'm being honest. But we're not talking about Disney Sources Arena. What I'm saying is, like, there was a plot before in the events, and it made it so much more interesting to go through the events. There was much more of a point to it, I would say. And even if you weren't going to unlock the character, it's still interesting to see how the plot is going to develop. This game, they didn't even bother to try. You know? And the levels weren't all exactly the same every time you play them. And there were quite a lot of levels as well. There were like 3 chapters to an event, which is pretty crazy with all that story and everything. The level structure was a lot different back then, but still. And if you want to see that, again, I have that all in the playlist. Go and check that out if you haven't already. Like, I know some people have been watching the Mirrorverse series all the way through. We're gonna quit there. I'm happy with the progress we made. I think we have enough for like one more crystal, I would assume. What did we even get from the last one? I don't even remember looking. I don't think it was anything that interesting. Just going in here. We can... Wait, do we have enough? Yeah, we had enough. And then just going and opening that up. Alright, Scrooge. We could use some Scrooge ones. That's fair. I was hoping for some more Genie ones, but that's okay. Oh, we do have 3. We have 3 crystals here, so we could absolutely get some Genie ones here. Let's see. It's another Scrooge. Like I said, we need to level him up. Who else we got? Judy Hopps, another one that's not too high yet. And Scrooge again. Alright. Well, those are some somewhat newer characters, so it's nice to level them up a bit more. Is there anything else I can open up here? No, that looks good. Oh, I do want to look real quick. I want to see... Is there a way to check what's in this crystal? I think if we go here, there is. So yeah, these 2 are in this crystal, which makes it unique. They're not in any of the other crystals, but every other character is in this as well. So just because you're buying this does not guarantee you're going to get Ian or Genie. Keep that in mind. But yeah, like if we look at this one, Ian and Genie are not in this one. So that's the difference between those. Alright. Well, that was much shorter than a lot of the ones we've done. But thank you guys for watching. And I think there's a Maleficent event tied into this as well. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it. I guess we'll have to see. Like I said, the events don't have much of a reason to actually play them once you have all the characters from it. So maybe next time we'll just go through another story level, unless a new event comes out. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you then. Goodbye.